Hey, what's going on, guys? Super fun week of training. This is Monday here. See my jumps. Top single in the reverse band incline. 305 on that guy. Not too terribly hard. Did my back down straight weight sets, 4 sets of 3 at 255. Those moved great. So moving right along there. Happy with that. I went to my push press, 3 sets of 3 ascending. So the top triple here was with 210. These did not feel the greatest, right? But the bar moved plenty fast on tape. So was happy with that. Moving on to our tricep extensions. I'm waving up and down with these to kind of avoid like massive elbow issues and tendon issues and stuff like that. So I'll get up to the heavier sets of 6, which I'm actually up to 50-pound dumbbells on those. But I believe these were 35s for like sets of 15. So that's kind of how I'm doing that. Next day, banded cleans, my special exercise there. And then I contrast that with straight weight cleans. I hit a 245 single and then a 260 full clean there, which was super encouraging because that's the first full clean I've done in quite a while. I then did some back off doubles with 2 1/4 straight weight. I'm very, very happy with that after all the hip issues and not being able to squat and stuff like that. Just kind of showing like, you can cycle out of stuff and you're not going to like magically lose all your progress or gains or anything like that, right? Just keep training them qualities. They do carry over. You guys had been seeing me do the straight weight banded sets of 20 plus in squats. This was a set of 25 continuous chains, Hatfield safety squat bar. Don't put too much merit into the weight because it's Hatfield style and I'm providing assistance. I went with that because I could manipulate my torso in such a way I felt virtually nothing in my hip, but got a super, super good quad and glute pump, adductor pump. So super good on that. Just keeping the light squats in there, blood flow, this kind of thing. Moved on to weighted chins, 4x3 at the 35, then hammer curls. This was Wednesday. Pops in there with me. Got a 260 single with the banded pin press and then failed 270. Got my 4x2. That's been going up real well in that. The drop sets at 230. Moved on to these Zercher banded pin squats. Got 365 easily. If I could have done more of a send on 405, probably could have got that too. I think my focus was kind of trashed at that point. So no excuses. It is what it is. But, I'm using it. I'm getting what I need to get out of that variation, right? Did 3 back off singles with 315. My elbows were toasted at that point. For those of you that Zercher, it's not like something you crank out sets of 15 in, obviously. But I supersetted my lateral raises with that. Heavier lateral raises with the dumbbells, 40 pounds. And then I moved on to these Lou raises for full range of motion stimulus. For the delts, the traps, this kind of thing. And then I moved on to just some blood flow work, feel good work with my back extensions there. Isometrics, I'm sure you guys saw in the short that I posted. These are the sounds of success, baby. Lots of grunting and this kind of thing, but very therapeutic for the hip. The TFL, vastus lateralis, glute med, glute max, greater trochanter area of the hip, getting blood flow to it, so I like those. This was the day of my touch rugby, so Thursday rugby practice. And typically I wouldn't do any lifting on this day with the current program, but I want to throw in split jerks, so I decided to just kind of test some clean 2 split jerks. The cleans really served zero purpose whatsoever other than I just didn't feel like unracking it and just doing split jerks out there, so I decided to do some clean 2 split jerks. Worked up to 225 for the easy power clean, obviously, and then a double of the split jerk, which, if you want to go in nerd Olympic lifter terminologies, is considered a press out. In a full split jerk, when you drop into the split, the arms have to be locked out. You can't drop into it, then press it. But for what I'm using it for, obviously for rugby purposes, it will serve its purpose. I then decided to get fancy schmancy and do some complexes here with a $185. I did power clean, 2 push press, two split jerks. I went through that complex 2 times through. So that was about 2 hours before touch rugby. I felt super warmed up, just threw my cleats on and started right into full sprinting, obviously, right? So everything was good and potentiated. I don't think there's any magic to lifting on the day of a practice or a game like that. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. This was an epic day. This is my third of the 3 press variations. Got 255, which is PR with chains, then got 260. Big grinder PR. So you see some excitement there. Loving it. I did back off volume with 2 1/4, got it for a triple. Kind of got bodied on this set, right? Was hoping for 4, was not going to happen. Moved on after that, which is not in this video, but to 2 sets of 5 with 210 plus the chains. Then I moved on to my Penlay rows here, which I've worked my way up in these Penlays to 225 for sets of 5. This was 205 for 3 sets of 7. My fatigue was pretty high. I think I kind of wasted a lot of emotional energy on that top single, and even the celebration after was kind of stupid, but I was excited. Skull crusher work here again, same thing with the dumbbell. I don't want to get to the point where I'm working into like singles or anything with it just because it's a single joint movement. So I'm waiving the higher volume, lower weight stuff with the heavier weight stuff, which does not go beneath sets of 6. So this was a good amount of sets and reps on this. I believe I did 4x12 with the equivalent of 40 pounds on each side of the easy bar. This was yesterday, good old hill sprints. Not much thought process to those. Obviously working on sprint mechanics that my pal Spencer has been cueing me to do. So putting more thought process into the takeoff, into how I provide force through the ground, this type of thing. I did 15 total reps of those out here in really moderate, sunny Arizona. It was already almost 100 degrees at the time of doing this, so thank God I did them early in the morning. I did the 15 hill sprints, and then I moved into some bounding, which is not in this video. When I was done with that, came back to the garage, knocked out some pump work with hammer curls, and then good old neck harness extensions as well. Didn't get to the forearm curls. I basically decided that I didn't need to do them since I did the hammer curls, which involves some forearm. That was just me being lazy, basically. You guys know the how and the why behind the neck extensions. Don't need to go into that. This was today. This was my AMRAP banded purple band block deadlift. Had been working up at pretty epic progression. This was 375 for 7. I wanted 8 in it. I kind of just wussed out on this last one. Probably could have got 8. But got it for 7. So we're going to make a decision what we want to do next week. Not going to give you any spoiler alerts or anything, but I think you guys will really like what comes at the end of this little experiment. Done with that. Throwing in some wide stands, West Side barbell-esque box squats there. Mostly just to get a little bit more exposure to that wide stance, given that I do so much lateral cutting and stuff in rugby. Again, I cannot take credit for that. My friend Spencer gave me that idea and that as well. And I just don't do enough lateral stuff. So those wide stance box squats will help. They won't always be thrown in after the deadlifts. It was just kind of a test to see if they hurt, where I was at strength-wise in them, so on and so forth. I superset it in some rows there, lawnmower rows, 90-pound dumbbell. I ran through 4x3 of the squats, 4x10 each of the rows, and then I did some lateral raises, which are not on tape. Fun week of training. It's all building on each other. As always, if you guys made it to this point in the video, I genuinely appreciate it. We will see you next week.